Recording live. Okay. We'll just wait until somebody gets here.
Let's say that.
Okay, yeah, they're probably at the previous one for a bit. Okay, there. This one here. Uh-oh. I just when I put the
Cursor.
Increase the volume. Jayton. Hi, Jayton. Welcome. Good to see you.
Wendy.
Hi, Wendy. Nice to see you too.
Kirkland's Farm.
Hi, Kirkland's Farm. Welcome.
Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. Yay, Teresa. My pal, my buddy. Huh? Hi. You're all my pal and my buddy. Yeah. We're going to wait approximately 5 minutes for everybody to get here. While we're doing that, for those of you who don't know, okay, we're in the north, and the majority of you homesteaders are in the south, and so you have summer and mild winter or mild temperatures all year round. And if it gets to 30 degrees during the night, it goes up to 70 or 60 or 50 in the summer, or just blah 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 in the day. Here where we are, right near the Canadian border, that doesn't happen.
She says we're Yankees.
Man, hi.
Teresa says we're Yankees.
Yes, who said that? Teresa. Yeah, honey, where are you, Teresa? Let me know where Teresa is. We hear you, Minute Man. I'm working on it, I promise. You all have been so patient, and I want to explain that.
Wendy's in Nova Scotia.
Oh, Wendy, I have to stop. Wendy, I would say approximately 17 years ago, we rented a Class C trailer or RV or whatever. And we took our children for a little over a 2-week trip through Nova Scotia. We drove up to Bar Harbor, Maine, and we caught the Blue News Ferry, and we went all through Nova Scotia, and we absolutely loved it. And we have an album from there, and it's just beautiful.
Teresa's from Virginia.
Virginia, my hubby's from Virginia. Okay, but anyway, the Nova Scotia girl, I wanted to retire there. Of course, Mr. B said, but you never know with Nova Scotia, because when we were going from place to place, the weather is so different. It's hot, and then it's cold, and then it's hot. And one place I really liked was the Citadel. That was awesome, in the hills and everything. And we just loved it. We just drove and drove and drove. And the camping, and hi, Mama Cat, welcome.
She didn't get a notification.
You didn't? Oh well.
Kirkland's Farm.
Okay, hi, Kirkland's. Yeah, everybody's in the south. But anyway, Wendy is still there. The thing we liked about it, and I'll have to tell Susan, is it's a great place to go camping, because what we did was they gave us an 800 number, and so every night we would call in and tell them where we wanted to go. And they would ask, did we want, sewer and water? Do we want sewer? Or do we want just water? Do we want electric? Now, ours ran on propane. They would ask, do we want wooded or do we want non-wooded? I mean, it was just amazing. And then they would give us the directions, and we loved it. We absolutely loved it. So you're very lucky. We went to Peggy's Cove. We panned for gold. Oh, we did so much.
Southern Arc Homestead.
Hi, Southern Arc. Welcome. I'm just talking for a few minutes to get people a chance to arrive. Okay. We're talking about Nova Scotia and how we took our children on an RV hike there, maybe 17 years ago. And has Susan shown up yet?
No.
Probably not. Okay, this is something Susan may want to do on her new RV. It's just a splendid trip. And we got a room on the Bluetooth Ferry, and that allowed our children to sleep and catch up. It was just beautiful.
She says we do Cape Breton Wendy's there.
Oh, really? We have to go back there, honey. But anyway, back to you all being Southerners. Your beekeeping is going to be significantly different than our beekeeping. However, there are some things that are going to be the same, and those are the things that we are going to focus on during our live streams. And some are just going to be what happened down in the bee yard. As some of you may or may not know, I'm going to be participating in a New York State study to find out why New York State lost 54% of their honeybees in 2016. I get my hives in maybe 2 weeks. And I'll have, you know, aside from whatever we have, I'll have my few little hives. It's a lot of record keeping. It's a lot of going online and watching videos and reading things. But I will, you know, share it with you for whatever I learn. We're going to get, I think they sent me my experimental stuff for grower mites. But no matter where you are, there are some things that are common to all beehives. We are not experts. By no means. We do belong to a club of over 200 members, and they have anywhere of 800, 500 hives, and we have, you know, a mentor, and it just really helps a lot. It really does. We just love it. We absolutely love it. Okay, we should probably start. I don't know how many. Yeah, we have enough. We can start. Okay, hi, Donna.
10 or 12.
Okay. Okay, we're going to start. And I'm going to pretty much do a significant amount. Oh, first of all, we are going to have a giveaway. Every week a giveaway. Now, this week, it's the first thing I put my little hands on up in my craft room, okay? If y'all are getting tired of soaps, let me know. Well, no, I don't know what else I have up there. We're going to stick with the soaps. I have them here. Oh, here's the paper. Can you hold it? We figured out last week up here. Yeah. Oh, not that. You could see it better. They're not any type of shape. They're just two pink, sort of plain soaps. No smell, no scent. They're just nice soaps. Put them in a soap dish. I don't know. Whatever you want to do. They're free. Like my daddy says, if the price is right and they're free, okay? We'll be asking the question at the end of the show, and whoever comes up with the answer first, I will be shipping these out to you.
Wendy's lecture soaps.
Okay. Okay. Well, these are, you know, these aren't the shapes and whatnot, but well, they are shapes, aren't they?
Yeah, but you got designs.
Yeah, we got designs, but you know, those, you know, usually people just buy these if they want to use soaps, okay? And if JM Nuthouse shows up, I will be sending out your soaps probably tomorrow or the next day. Anyway, I want to share with you two words: laying workers. And I am very passionate about this subject with bees because they did us in the first year. We lost a hive to laying workers. First, I'm going to explain kind of sort of what happens in a beehive, and then what happens if and when the beehive starts to break down. And I have some notes here, so I am really serious about this. I really am. And then I'm gonna, if you are a beekeeper, I will tell you something else that you probably want to purchase from, what is it, Better Bee we got ours from, near the end.
Yeah.
Someone remind me if I forget to keep in your refrigerator just in case. Okay. In a hive, you have the queen bee. We all know that. And she lays the eggs. And it's up to her discretion how many drone eggs she lays and how many worker eggs she lays. Drones basically don't do anything except fertilize a new queen should the hive happen to produce one. So you have to have some drones and eat. That's it. They don't forage. They don't bring in pollen. They don't do anything. Okay. Because of that, you will find that near the end of the year, your worker bees start throwing your drones out. They get rid of them. Well, I have to assume they do that in the south. I'm not 100% sure. Up here in the north, when they feel the temperatures changing, they get rid of them because they know winter's coming and they only have a limited amount of food to survive on and to feed their brood. So they get rid of drones, and they are not going to be producing a queen during the winter. So those are your drones. So you've got your queen and your drones, and then you have your worker bees, and they do everything. Your worker bees are your nurse bees when the queen is going around and she's laying eggs. Your nurse bees are going into the supply of honey and bee bread and pollen in the hive to feed the brood. They do feed them all of those, right? Mostly the honey, I would say. I don't know if they feed them. Do you feed them the bee bread?
Yes.
Yeah, all those things. We can explain bee bread later. If you don't know what you're looking at and it looks like bee bread, it's bee bread. And that was really a silly thing to say, but I'm more into what the function of each of the bees are. So, and your other workers, well, your main workers are in there, and you have maybe 5 or 6, which are the bee attendants, and they're the queen attendants, and they're feeding the queen, and they're making sure she wants for nothing, okay? And the other workers are out foraging. And if you look really close to your beehive, and if you look at the picture that I replaced on our site with thumbnails, you'll see bees going in with pollen, okay? That's actually from one of our hives, a picture that Bee-Man took. Yes?
Yeah.
Hi, pickers.
Donna, there is not a lot of brood in the winter.
No.
The queen scales down pretty much November, December, and early January. There should be no brood.
Right, but she starts laying again in February. Okay, that's critical. So you want to pack your hive up. And I don't know if you all in the South pack your hives up. I'm going to do some research into that, which is why it's really good for you to join a club in the South, so you know what everybody down there is doing. You have a question?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay, he's manning the questions. But if you pack your hive up with a queen that's on her last leg, you've got a problem. And queens will live for 5 years. They are considered over the hill after 3 years. We have never gone that long with our queens simply because of the climate we're in. It's a very harsh climate for beekeeping. It really is. So, as I was saying, your workers are out there and they're bringing in your pollen. And if you see your workers bringing in your pollen, you have brood. Because that's what the workers, that's what they're going to use to make honey, and they have nectar to make honey and bee bread, and you'll also see pollen in the little cells, which is okay, to feed the brood. I can see the time.
No.
Okay. So now, if for whatever reason, okay, you're a newbie, which I mean, we're not experienced, but we were newbies this first year. And for our first year, everybody says start out with 1 hive. Well, we went with 10 our first year. Now the consensus is that you start out with at least 2 and figure you're going to blow away 1. It happens to everybody. Don't feel bad. Oh, my bees are bad, you know. One thing in the South you can do to help yourself is to be sure and check if they're going to be spraying for the Zika virus, because I'm sure everybody heard last year in, was it North Carolina or South?
I think it was North.
North, okay. North Carolina, what happened?
Oh, nothing.
Okay. North Carolina, they sprayed and they lost a significant amount of their bees. The same in Florida. Okay. We checked here, and because we're in a farming community and we're zoned agricultural, residential, they're not spraying anywhere. They are spraying in New York City. But in New York City, you have, down there, you have beehives that are up on top of the buildings. So I don't know if it would really affect them. Everybody has these rooftop hives in New York City. But getting back to this, so you have your happy beehive and everybody's happy and they're going along. Well, if for whatever reason the queen dies, okay? Now, I will tell you a few ways the queen can die right off the bat. First of all, when you're doing your hive inspection, what would you recommend? Every 2 weeks?
No, simply 7 just sit in. In New York City, the rats will just eat them all.
Yeah, that's why they're on the roof simply.
Finger Lakes gives you a hug.
Yeah, hi, Finger Lakes. Is that Nicole? I hope so. Hi, sweetie.
Hey.
Anyway, so that's why in New York City, there's, if you go on YouTube, they're on the tops. Okay. If the queen dies, I want to tell you some ways the queen can die. Some people that are new, they do a hive inspection and they don't get the queen back in there.
Yep, that's what Donna just said. You accidentally squish her.
We step on her. I don't know what happens to the poor girl. I'm sure we've done that.
Sam got mice in one of his hives.
Oh, Sam, we will tell you about that. I don't know if you were here last week, but we'll try to touch on that. So ask that near the end, okay? Thank you, Sam, for that. That happened in some of our hives. But anyway, she's blown away. Either you step on her, or if you're doing your check and you're not quite sure what you're looking for, which is why it's good to join a bee club, you know, you open it up and you're doing your frames, you say, oh, we have brood. Well, let me tell you, you've got to have a brood pattern. Brood is usually laid consistently. If you've got it all over the place, dotted, and then on one frame, and then on the next frame, it's dotted again, your queen is failing because she lays smooth, okay? Not necessarily just top or just bottom, and this is assuming you're running 2 deeps, but it's a smooth pattern, okay? If you're not going to join a bee club, and I know a lot of you are terribly busy because you have animals and everything, at least look what a good queen should be doing. So let's just say your queen, for whatever reason, dies. The bees know. A very unique pheromone. When they know the queen is gone, they sit there for a while. I forgot how long will they sit there until the last brood is hatched, and it takes, I had that underlined, I think it was 24 days, either 21 or 24 days for brood to hatch. And that last brood is hatched. Okay, and if you're not watching, you won't know. Okay. The last brood is hatched, they go into survival mode. Okay, they just freak right out. What happens is some of your worker bees who choose not to be fertilized by choice, it's really amazing. It's like survival, it's a survival instinct. They change, the hormones in their bodies change, and they try desperately to produce a queen, because they don't have a queen. And with a hive without a queen is a chaotic hive. You'll be able to tell if you look at it. It's just chaos. Okay. So what happens is they start laying eggs. Hence the word laying workers. Now, you're probably saying, oh, wow, yippee, you know, they took over. But that's not a good thing, because worker bees, unlike the queen bee, cannot fertilize brood. Drones are produced by eggs that are laid by the queen, which by her choice are not fertilized. So all the worker bees can do is lay eggs that are going to be drones. It is, unless you really know what you're looking at, it's almost impossible to differentiate between, how can I say, the brood. Typically, drone brood is larger. When you have laying workers, you'll see maybe 2 larvae in a cell.
Don't forget to mention that.
Go ahead, interject.
The reason the female worker bees cannot lay fertilized eggs is they've never made it.
Right, they've never made it. Only the queen mates.
So they lay duds.
Duds.
Basically.
You know, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have mated, we start out with a mated queen. Okay, but we have had queens that have successfully mated. So now you've got a hive, you know, you go there and, you know, you see these eggs, and those eggs are the same size as regular ones.
Donna, we're going to get to your question because she has to tell the whole story.
Yeah. So now, you know, your bees are flying and everything looks good and life is good. You've got brood and, you know, as far as you're concerned, life is good. Well, your hive starts dying. It starts breaking down. They can't even swarm because they can't swarm without a queen. And they can't lay anything to get a new queen. Only a queen can lay an egg and feed it what it needs to be fed. Only a queen can lay another queen egg. So your hive starts to break down. Now, when we found out what was happening in one of our hives, all of the good websites, which one was the good? Better Bee? Was it Better Bee? Better Bee Bees. And our mentor said, that's it, your hive is a wash. You lost it. What if, now you can go into what he told us to do.
Okay, well, what the problem with laying workers is you can have 1 or you can have 50. You don't know, and you can't tell by looking at them because they don't wear a little tiara saying, I'm now think I'm a queen.
Right.
Since you can't tell, if you then buy another queen or have a queen from somewhere else and put it in a hive, they will kill it because they think they're the queen.
That happened to us?
So you lose your queen right away. It's called balling it. They surround it and they sting it to death. So you got a real mess on your hands if you got a laying worker. So what we're told to do is you take the entire hive at least 300 feet from its current location, which we did. Take all of the frames out, frame by frame, and brush all the bees off. Then you put the frame back in a separate hive box that you've got covered so they can't get back in it. So you do this with both your boxes if you have 2 boxes. It's very time consuming. You got bees all over the place. So you put all your bees out of the hive. And you're not worrying about a queen because you don't have one. So you then, making sure you don't have even 1 bee hitchhiking back in your frames, take the 2 boxes back to the original site and set them back up.
Hold on, Sam. Hold on.
Some of the bees will be actually there in a little swarm waiting to get back in the hive because they know where the hive was. So you set it back. The thinking is that the foraging bees have been in and out of the hive, so they know where the hive is. So the foragers, who are not the laying workers, this is the concept, will fly back into the hive. However, the laying workers who've never been out of the hive, theoretically, can't find their way back to the hive, so they stay out there in the field and perish.
That's the theory.
That's the theory. So then you now have a hive with no laying workers, and you can introduce a new queen. And that may or may not work. So
when we tried it, for those of you that don't know what we mean by introduce, huh? Yeah, she's okay.
Teresa's asking, is it true they will rip the wings off the queen so she can't fly away?
Oh, I don't think so.
No.
We haven't had that experience.
No,
but,
not that we haven't heard that.
When you put the queen in a hive, for those of you who are just thinking about beekeeping, she comes in a little cage. Okay, she comes in a little cage. When you order a queen, she comes in a little cage, protected with her attendants in there, maybe 5 or 6. And there's a plug on the end, and you hang it in between 2 frames in your hive. And there's candy on the bottom of the plug. And they eat away at this candy, and the queen comes out. Well, so we did this with our hive. I had the laying workers, and they ate away. Laying workers become very territorial. So it's like if you have 10 laying workers, it's like having 10 queens that aren't happy to have anybody else in there. So they ate the candy out, and then they blew away our queen. So we did it again. Except I think the net. Did we do it again?
Yes.
Yeah, we did it again. But
there's a couple folks here who have said that they've introduced queens with no problems. You can introduce queens with no problems, but keep in mind, we're talking about a laying worker hive.
Sam was with a laying worker hive.
And other hives, it's a little easier, especially during a honey flow, but a laying worker hive can be very, very tricky.
Yeah, they're wild. They're chaotic.
So go ahead.
So the next thing we did was we put in brood from we had other hives that were strong, very strong. And we took that brood and put it in the hive again with another queen, okay? And it worked. But unless you're gonna be in a position to just keep purchasing queens, it's gonna get expensive. And if, the best thing for you to do is to how would you do that? Just take, what do they say? If you don't want to do that, you just put your hive back there. I forget. Put your hive back there and hope they all come back there, or what? Or just put them all, oh no, don't do anything and they just all go to other hives. I forget.
If the alternative, because there's some recommendations, some folks recommend, there's a lot of debate about this.
Yeah,
if you have a laying worker hive, there's a couple of places out there that say, experienced places that say, just don't bother and waste your time. Break the hive up and let the bees all fly to other hives. Just break the hive, call it a loss, and break it up.
Right.
So that's what some people recommend. There's a lot of debate about it.
Yeah. Hi, family. Sherry, I hope. Daryl, not that you're not welcome, but Sherry, you and I rock, girl. So I am so passionate about that because I know a lot of beekeepers who have run into this problem. They just see bees going in, they think everything is wonderful, and it's not. And another thing is, so I encourage people to have more than one hive too.
Something from Donna. Donna, you made a comment a while back. You said, sounds like you have to introduce a new queen before all the last brood hatches. Yeah, actually, that's much better. The problem is if you don't catch it and you've lost your queen and you don't have brood that has, you want uncapped brood, which is in the first 3 days, I think, which are just eggs. You really want that. You can introduce, it's better to introduce a queen, yes, when you have legitimate laid brood. But sometimes if the beekeeper is too busy or you just miss it, you can suddenly end up with no brood and you're in trouble. And then it's how fast can you introduce a queen and do you have laying workers? So it's really, it's a little bit tricky.
Now, last year I discovered, and I think it was a new product on Better Bee. I just love their site. They have these strips of pheromones that imitate that are the pheromone of a queen. So I would suggest that you get some of those and keep them in your refrigerator. That's the storage. So if you open a hive and you see no brood, you should never see no brood. You should always see no brood. If you don't, I mean, if you don't
always see brood.
Always see brood, right? You should always see brood. Okay. If you don't, yes.
Simply Seven is saying to you, make sure you join our live show. Got a special shout out for you.
Okay, hey Simply, we missed you last week. Okay, honey.
Yeah.
Anyway,
sorry.
Oh no, never from Simply. Girl, Nicole, they all rock. I love them. So they have these strips and they're relatively inexpensive. You know, we buy everything cheap. And you store them in your fridge, and if you know, you're doing your check and you say, oh my goodness, no brood, no brood. You put these strips on top and they don't know what's going on. They just go happily ever after. And then the only thing with that is, I don't know if they will eventually produce a queen. Will they with those strips? We've never waited. I was scared to death to wait. I mean, I collect change.
You're talking about the pheromone strip?
Yes,
They won't produce a queen unless you've got, no, if you have to put the strip in there, you're already past.
Okay, yeah, then you're past the point of no return. If they don't want to get the strips, how can they get the queen in there? Hi, Colleen, Amber, and...
Well, the strips help.
Yeah, the strips help until you can figure out what to do.
The other alternative is to put in 2 frames of open brood, 2 frames with open brood, and that will sometimes work to allow them. They will be more accepting of a new queen if you put one in.
Well, somebody has to make the queen.
That's from another hive.
So if you have that hive and you have those strips.
No, I'm saying no.
Oh.
The strips have nothing to do with making a queen.
Oh.
They may accept the queen if you have open brood.
Right.
If you're entering, putting a new queen in.
Okay, yeah. That's okay.
The strips just keep them hopefully from becoming laying workers. Okay,
so we can say emphatically, if you're thinking of something, write this down. What? If you have
Donna's saying she's learning so much she's worried to try.
Oh, no, please. Donna.
I'm going to talk about things to do.
Honey, get yourself a beehive. I recommend 2. Even get 1 and get a swarm. Swarms are
not the first year.
Oh, I don't know, Mark. We could have done it. You don't think so?
They don't recommend it for first year beekeepers.
They don't, but these people they're homesteaders, Mark. They're doing cows and chickens and stuff. They can do a group of bees.
Okay, I'm just saying. Generally, it's not recommended.
It's not recommended.
You've got to know what you're doing.
It's not recommended. But I'm gonna tell y'all, Mark, when you've got chickens and cows and stuff, now we've had a goat and a miniature horse, so we know, how those bills can mount up. I mean, vet calls and everything. But
Kirkland Farms, when you buy a beehive, does it come with bees?
No, honey.
No, you just buy the boxes and the frames. You need to buy the bees separately.
Yeah. Now, Kirkland, if you're handy, you get your hives unpainted and you paint them, or you can even get your hives not assembled and you put them together, and that's all saving money. Okay. When we started,
Simply Seven says, "I'll keep my chickens. You keep the bees."
No.
Wait a minute. I got it. Minuteman.
Hey, Minuteman.
Generally, in the early part of the summer, you're supposed to check your bees every week to 10 days. If there's a honey flow on, which you should know in your area, which is flowers are blooming with nectar and so on.
Not just flowers. Okay. The best thing that happened to us was before the year that we started bees, I was studying, my husband was still working. We went out to one of our apple trees and voila, we had a swarm. And so we called a beekeeper who had 1,000 hives spread across this area. And she came with a little bee box and she got them and she talked to us and I learned a lot. And I see now where the hive was too small to survive the winter. And she said she was going to take them and combine them with one. However, I just lost my train of thought.
It's okay.
It's about Minuteman. What's it Minuteman say?
Can you check more often than that?
Oh, yeah.
Minuteman, you can, but it's not recommended.
No, you don't want to upset those bees.
The consensus here from our association is every time you smoke the bees, you set them back 3 days. Well, that's one of the experts.
Hey, remember, I'm the one that goes out there with the leaf blower and smoker.
Okay, well, we're going to confuse people.
I'm not confusing people.
Okay. Anyway, you can check them more than once a week or 10 days, but it is not recommended because it's like somebody coming into your house, taking your roof off, and rearranging your furniture.
That's true.
It upsets the hive.
Okay, that part is true. However, smoking, when you're just starting, you smoke those bees. You also smoke your bee suit. Okay. The other thing is, screw that noise. My chickens love it. Okay. The other thing is honey flow. Forget the honey flow. Okay. In our area, there's a big thing about, the honey flow. That's when everything's blooming. Back to our swarm and our apple tree. She looked around and she said, they're going to get stuff from the elm trees and they're going to get pollen from here. They're going to get pollen from places you never dreamed of. Okay. Bees go, they make a circle of approximately 5 miles to get pollen. So no matter how much land you have, they're going all over the place, getting pollen. Trees, the first thing that comes out, the first little bud. So for you all in the South, there's always going to be a honey flow. And another thing I caution you, will share with you. You can look at your hive today, and in 5 days when you go back, it's entirely different. I'll tell you right now, it's entirely different. So you have to, well, we keep notes. My husband keeps notes on each hive. We have different methods of beekeeping. My thing is, my husband's really persnickety, and I mean that in a positive way. He's accurate. He has his notes and everything. I give them lots of space because I have seen where bees, if you have 10 frames, they may not go out 10 frames. They may just take the middle 6 and keep going up, and they're going to convince themselves that there's no more space, and they're going to try to swarm. And so our solution to that is know the difference between swarm cells and queen cells. If it's 99% of the time, if it's on, this is your frame, okay? If it's on your frame, if there's a cell on here, you identify it as a queen cell, that means for some reason they're not happy with the queen. She's not laying right. They don't like her attitude. They're going to she's going to have a new queen. They're going to have a new queen. How do they get her to do that, by the way?
They just encourage her.
They just encourage her.
She has,
I don't know, she's set up
to around a dozen attendants that take care.
They encourage her. They have a chat and they go, we're sick of this woman. And
Sam says he doesn't smoke his bees.
Sam is a she.
Kirkland says, Lord, I hope there isn't a test after this.
No. And so if you see that, they're just going to get a new queen. They've had it with her. And as soon as that queen hatches, they're going to get rid of the old one. If on your frame, you see these queen cells at the bottom, that means for some reason they're getting ready to swarm and they're going to leave you with the queen. And what we do, which, you know, we knock them off. Now, theoretically, you can take them somehow and develop queens, which I really want to get into, because in beekeeping, the biggest amount of money, if you want to earn money, is raising queens and nukes. If you can raise queens, you're going to make a fortune, because queens go for 30 bucks each. A jar of honey goes for what? Maybe 10? I don't know.
It depends.
And that's a lot of work. I mean,
Depends,
we
yeah.
have some videos going up to show you, you know, we're spinning. We only have like a hand spin, you know, like a manual one that does two frames at a time, because we weren't expecting that.
Yeah.
And that one year we got hit. So it's a lot of work for $10, and you have to get the jar and everything. But when you see these, like I said, when you see a queen cell on the bottom, you got to knock it off and put something above it. Another deep or a super. Now, for those of you who have back problems.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Something that we learned is, you know, beekeeping, you tend to get brainwashed. Okay. You don't have, okay, you should have a deep in the bottom. Then they have something now called medium, and also you have your supers. These don't know the difference. So you can have your deep, and then you can have super, super, super going up. Okay. Supers are going to be lighter to pick up. Trust me, when Sam will maybe verify this.
We got something with Donna and Sam. Somewhere they said they stopped feeding her so she could fit out to leave the hive, had to diet. Don't know why they wanted to leave the hive. Okay. Before they swarm, when they swarm, as the bee lady has mentioned, it's often when the hive is too crowded. At any rate, before they swarm, the bees stop feeding the queen a lot. They put her on a diet, and believe it or not, it's like going to LA Fitness. They walk her around the hive. They force her to walk around the hive to reduce her size, making it easier for her to leave the hive, because she is the largest member. She's the largest insect or bee in the hive. So they put her on a diet, and they put her on an LA Fitness plan. And so they got her jogging around the hive, reducing her size before they swarm. Once they get, there's a communal decision to swarm, because they all swarm simultaneously. I've never seen it, but the people who've seen it say it's pretty spectacular. You're looking at 30,000 bees leaving a hive simultaneously, going straight up. So it's pretty dramatic, but that's why they stopped feeding her, or at least minimize her food. That's before the swarm. And
yeah,
so
that's true.
Yeah.
So, and you'll go down, you'll go to your bee yard, and you will open your hive, and there we go.
Which has happened to us.
Yeah, it's happened to us too. So that's why we felt comfortable streaming, because you name it, we've done it. I mean, we've wiped out bees. I wanted to address Sam with the mice. Sam, in this area, when we pack them up for the winter, we put on what's called mouse guards. Okay. But we also use, which we won't do again, popsicle sticks in the top to keep the top up just a little tiny bit for the moisture. You can't have moisture in your hive. Okay. And up here we have these, we use cardboard. Some people use tart paper. We have these black boxes that we put right over our hive. I mean, we pack them up because the bees are in there with honey and food and sugar and everything else. So I'll put it this way. We lost maybe 2 or 3 to, we lost 2 to mice.
I can't tell that we actually lost.
Yeah, we don't know.
Mice.
We don't know, but we suspect
they would have contributed, but they were only in the top. In the
top, so we assume they did. However, your biggest defense against everything, wax moths, which we understand are more prevalent in the south because of the heat. We've had them, but only 2 in a hive, maybe. The winter kills everything up here in the hive. You want to tell them about the hive with the mouse on top? Was that our swarm hive or another one?
Well, the swarm hive did have one.
Yeah, but because that hive was so huge.
I think I mentioned it last week.
Yeah, he did. Where Sam wasn't here. Sam, were you here last week? I don't think so. Where they opened the hive and there was what was left of the mouse was there.
Yeah, we had. Yeah, I had
yeah.
a couple of hives where the bees. It's the mice came in probably late winter, early spring, and the hives were very strong. Yeah. And the mice never had a chance to even make a nest, which they'll try to make up there. They'll chew right through wood and they'll make a nest. They never had a chance. So when I opened the hive on the one that was our swarm hive that we captured, that there was a,
I was looking just reading what you were saying.
There was a mouse in the corner where it was probably ran to escape the stinging, but they killed it before it could even escape the hive. It crawled in and they killed it that fast. Yeah. And then they were propolizing it, which is covering it with this sticky material that essentially makes it like a little mummy and protects the hive from decomposition.
Right. That's why I said those of you who have back problems or any kind of pain problems, you may want a deep and then super, 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 super. You're going to have to stack your supers higher. But when you set them all up, they're going to propolize, they're going to stick them together. Every little space in a hive, they fill with this sticky, sticky stuff, propolis. And so that's why you have your bee tube tool, which we'll have to have one next week to show you. You have to literally try it up and the box is up. Sam, you know about that, right? And it's tough. And when they have honey and bees and brood, they're heavy. They're very heavy.
Sam says you can sell propolis to the medical fields.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that. We just haven't investigated. We haven't looked into trying to do that yet.
Yeah, you probably can use a lot of things for the bees. By the time I leave it, I'm like, where are we going next? What hive? I'm like, oh my goodness. And like I said, we kind of wish we were in the South because I guess beekeeping there would be just awesome. I'd like to hear from somebody here in the South. My husband will see it on the chat. I don't know if you even pack your hives up for the winter. I don't know if that's necessary down there. Here it is. So we have to, treat them for varroa mites before the winter. We have to make sure we have a viable queen, which means knowing when we queened or when we have got a new queen or when they produced a new queen in each hive. We have to look at the brood. We have to make an assessment. Yes?
No.
Oh, about, okay, is she strong enough? And each hive is going to be different. And each time is going to be different. Now that it's spring, here, everything is going. The grass is growing. Everything's growing. The bees are active. So it's like, pow, everything at once. Where I think in the South, it's a more gradual process. I use honey from
okay, Donna, we'll explain probably in another session about the different size of frames. Understand about getting older and thinking about the weight. I'm in the process this year myself because I hurt my back of going from a 2 deep hive to 1 deep and 2 supers, because 2 supers, medium supers, are equivalent to a deep, so that instead of lifting something that can be 110 pounds,
oh, I didn't know that, Sam.
something that can be 110 pounds, it's much less, and it's a lot easier on your back. So I'm in the midst of converting, but that takes a little bit of time, as you can imagine.
Backyard, we are in Western New York.
We're in New York State.
Right near the Canadian border.
Right. We're in Niagara County, which is, also includes Niagara Falls.
Right.
The city of Niagara Falls.
Oh, no, we don't claim Niagara Falls.
But
we have nothing. We're not near there. We're not going to have anything. Yeah, we're
a little bit
in the
away.
country, far away. We're right, the bridge to Canada is maybe how many miles from here? I'm not even sure. 10, 5, 7?
I'd say
it's just 15 of those.
15 to 20.
No, it can't be because it was 15 to their school. We always think it's
but
further. Yeah.
I don't know because we haven't done it directly.
Yeah, we haven't done it. It's close. It's close. So, we're in snow country. So that's
yeah,
all I can tell you.
We're 10 miles south of Lake Ontario.
Right. And
so we can actually see the Toronto skyline from a hill behind us. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
on a clear day.
Are there any questions? You know, because it's 8:51 and we're going to do our contest soon.
Yeah, thanks for the tips, Sam.
Rochester.
I didn't know it was that much good money selling propolis.
Yeah, what?
So,
well, how do you sell it to them? Do you do that, Sam? It's good money. We would just get it and put it in a jar, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I do have a small collection of it. But,
do you?
Yeah.
Well, just yeah, I don't know.
Local vet. They're 5 minutes from Lake Ontario.
Who is?
They're talking. They're
yeah,
saying
that's
what
us.
we are.
Yeah, Rochester, two-family Rochester. No, oh yeah, I think Sherry was born in Rochester or raised in Rochester. So Finger Lakes Pepper. This is really great.
Oh,
yeah.
Teresa says, "What is propolis?" Oh Lord.
He explained that later. Well, it's in a hive. They don't like extra space, so like little corners between the two boxes, they seal them up with this gooey, sticky stuff. Like
propolis is, yes, it's gooey, sticky. Propolis, the bees collect. They like to keep their hives almost antiseptic. So they collect.
June, I'll send it. Don't worry.
They collect sap from sap and various fluids from flower buds, trees. Like if you got a pine tree, you see sometimes they're leaking sap from all different kinds. Yeah, Teresa, it's like bee glue. It's extremely sticky, and you have two hive boxes, let's say, and you just resting them together, but the bees seal every crack with propolis. They mix it up and make it into some kind of, it's almost like bee cement.
Well, it's like
it's extremely sticky in hot weather. In cold weather, it's brittle. And it's a mess. It sticks to everything. It gets on your bee suit and all that. So it's a mess for us to deal with.
Right.
But it has properties. It is antiseptic. It's antibiotic, and it's antibacterial. The bees do something to make this. They try to keep out all any kind of pathogens or anything like that with it.
Right. We better do our contest.
Better do the contest. Well, it's 6 minutes. But
6 minutes?
Yep, they're going to need time for this.
Yeah, they're going to need time for this. Okay, you saw what you're winning. I'm gonna try to come up with a more creative soap for next week because
they like your soap.
They like my soap. I don't know.
Okay, here's the question, and you may need.
Okay, everybody ready? Drum roll.
Okay, this is a question because somebody last week said they didn't hear.
Okay, we're gonna wait. Okay,
here's the question.
Okay, wait. I'm learning so much. Okay. Beastman, I love you, Sam.
So
okay, wait. Let's just wait. It's everybody. We're waiting for everybody to focus. Okay.
No, they're talking to each other. They can focus.
Well, they can focus. Yeah. Okay, everybody, focus on this question. Okay.
Okay.
Look, we're country folks. My canning jar. I love this thing.
That looks like moonshine.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey. That's our secret.
I've got to read this. Time is moving on.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. This is from the honey. It's the National Honey Board, basically. This statistic for 2013, so it's recent. They have the top 5 honey-producing states in the United States. These states all produce more than 10 million pounds of honey.
Hear that, cow? You go, Hannah.
Okay. Yeah. I will tell you 2 of them. There are 5 top states. The 5th is California. The 4th is Florida. Okay. So your question is to name one of the top 3 other states, one of the three that produce the most honey by pounds, that's how they measure it, pounds produced as of 2013. So this is a national government figure. So again, there's 5 states that have the most. California and Florida are 5th and 4th. Oh, you're giving answers.
You're giving answers. Okay, I don't even know what the answer is. Okay, what are the answers?
Okay, we're getting the answers. Let's see.
Oh boy. One answer at a time.
Yeah, you can't.
Irma.
One state at a time.
One state at a time, although that's creative.
Okay. All the guesses.
Very creative.
All the guesses so. Oh my. Wait a minute.
Oh my. Wait.
Let me see.
You got one.
Windswept Homestead.
Windswept. Yes.
Has won.
Yes.
Yes. In fact, Windswept, you picked North Dakota, which is the highest honey producing state in the country with 33,120,000 pounds produced in 2013. So yeah, North Dakota, who knew? So they got tough bees up there. The other 2 are Montana and South Dakota.
Right. Windswept, Facebook me message, go on Facebook. I don't know if you're my friend on Facebook or
Teresa got 2 of them.
On my YouTube, on our YouTube site, our address, the Bee Lady Apiary at AOL.com. Send me your address. And those of you who don't have post office boxes and send us your address, trust me, we're not coming after you for anything. Are we doing?
No.
So we're not going to tell it to anybody. We're not going to do anything with it. So you can trust us. We're pretty laid back. We're
not part of the FBI. Actually, we don't trust them anymore.
We don't trust them. Yeah, we don't trust them anymore. Okay, so this has been great. And if there's something you would like us to cover, although we usually come up with an agenda, the Bee Lady Apiary at AOL.com. Send us an email. Okay, and we'll consider it. And when we're done with our main topic, we'll put that on our agenda. As I said, I'm just very passionate about laying workers. This is time to go off at 8 o'clock.
9.
So, whatever.
Well, it makes a difference.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. And I had to focus really hard to not be like I just was in the last minute, because I'm really a goofy person.
Colleen, the prize was soap.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Here.
Here, you hold this. No, this one.
Fine.
Yeah, just 2 soaps I made.
You're seeing it now, Colleen.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Handmade soap.
I just
guaranteed to make you beautiful and clean at the same time.
Yes, windswept. Oh, you put that on, boy, you're gonna look just like Ivana Trunk and Princess Diana and Kate. Good stuff.
Wow.
Okay.
Teresa, you cook sourdough? Wow.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So that's it. And we're going to stop our broadcast because I have to go in there and get ready for Simply. We missed you last week, Simply. Everybody, please go to Simply 7 Living. That's Simply 7 Living. Okay? Josh knows everything there is to know about hunting. And Nicole just got baby chicks. Okay? Bye.
Okay. Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Have a good week.